Logic Forge by examples.
Before we start with the Hello World example, let's speak about the idea. Let's imagine that our monobehavior component is functional block that is doing processing of the inputs and as results gives output. And that you can combine those blocks in many different ways to achieve different results. Then save this blueprint in asset. Assign asset to game object to implement logic according to asset. Let's use open simple monobehavior. Add integer parameters. We will mark inputs and outputs. Simple addition will be functionality for our block. Let's add more and connect outputs with inputs. We can now add asset to logic component, and what we have designed is implemented. In order our reference to be saved, we need to use Unity fields for inputs. Both references are now saved. As you can see, simplemono.out is reference to input A of simple mono second and also to simple mono third. Let's make something useful.
Let's create logic asset. It will be our logic blueprint. Let's open the asset. Asset is empty. Let's add some components that come with logic package. Right-click, choose from the menu timer and interpolator. Both components are subclassed from base visual component class. As we can see, the visual component has one input and three outputs. so in and out attributes define the purpose of the fields. Input enable enables or disables component. Success or failed flags are set to true, depending on the result of the component process. We are using a special type Unity field that allows us to use field in two modes. Bind mode, where we can reference object, property, and raw mode, like a normal field. Success or failed flags are set to true, depending on the result of the component process. Started is set to true after all onEnable are fired, when logic is included in state machine or used as command in MVC. You can see that timer and interpolator has more inputs and outputs. Let's connect timer's time, normalized output, to interpolate vector 3. That's it. Our logic blueprint is ready. Now let's create cube prefab. Select prefab. It is important that we do everything on prefab. Add logic component and add our previously created logic asset.
Open your minds, your hearts, your very soul.
We can see our components are added. Interval duration, interpolate from, multiplier, and interpolation mode type to linear. Let's set them. We can also select components in graph. Let's enable and set to be executed every frame for both components. Play. We will activate live link and select the object we want to track. As we can see, the timer progresses, the interpolation goes on. But why isn't our cube moving? Let's finish our logic by adding set component and reference to cube transform component.
Open your minds, your hearts, your very souls, good people, to what you are going to see and hear.
Let's create a assign operation into set and connect operand A and B, assigning output of interpolator to transform position. Let's play. Now, let's check another example. Now GameObject Zombear has 3 logic components. Each component is included in some state of a finite state machine, state machinery.
Open your minds, your hearts, your very souls.
Let's see how finite state machine looks like. It has 3 states and looks and functions similarly to Mechanim. Event is a condition for a transition. You define events inside embedded event dispatcher. Let's get back to logic and check watch component. We can see that now we don't use failed and success outputs, but we are invoking success event from referenced embedded state machine event dispatcher. When success event is invoked, it meets the condition of state machine and triggers change of state. Let's clarify this event binding in a simple example. Let's add empty game object and event dispatcher component. So, event dispatcher is just an array of Unity events. Let's now create simple mono behavior component in which we will bind or inject events dispatcher event and invoke on start. Simple, right?
Open your minds, your hearts, your very souls, good people. Open your minds, your hearts, your very souls, good people, to what you are going to see and hear.
Let's play.
Open your minds, your hearts, your very soul.
Now, let's see another example with model view controller and dependency injections. Let's find the difference in classical MVC framework versus Logic Forge. Adding events manually versus visually. Manual binding mediators, commands, views versus just start command binding. So, Instead of command like this, we have a command visually.
Open your minds, your hearts.
Here is our model. Here is service. URL to load Google image referenced in service, and on complete, assign back to model.
Your hearts, your very souls, good people, to what you are going to see and hear.
In Mediator, we don't even need to inject Event Dispatcher to add listener. But we can add listener, for example, show event using Unity event interface. Let's play.
Open your minds, your hearts, your very soul.
Now, let's see the last most complex example. Third-person controller with playables. You can just drag and drop player, blend tree, connect to blend tree motion component, and you're good to go. Let's play.
Open your minds, your hearts, your very souls, good people. Open your minds, your hearts, your very souls, good people, to what you are going to see and